Have you ever dreamt about taking a cruise on one of them fancy boats, soaking up the beauty and the magic just to free your soul? It's floating on the ocean, just a notion that seems out of reach. One thing on your bucket list is just to go and see the beach. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but helping hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping hands for cruising, cruising. Helping hands for cruising, cruising. Helping hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
You know you gotta do the things you've only dreamed about. Don't let anything stop you thinking you can't go all out. You can do the things you never thought were possible with helping hands to help you get there. Even oceans are no obstacle. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but helping hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping hands for cruising, cruising. Helping hands for cruising, cruising. Helping hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
So if you ever dreamed about taking a cruise in one of them big old boats, soaking up that sun, feel that breeze, yeah, there is still hope. Don't let the ocean be a notion that is out of reach. Let's get together, help each other, and go see the sea. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You've got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but helping hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping hands for cruising, cruising. Helping hands for cruising, cruising. Helping hands for cruising, making your dream a reality. Helping hands for cruising, cruising. Helping hands for cruising, cruising. Helping hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
Dreams set sail today, rising up no delay. Hands reach out, we say, join us come what may. Waves of hope we ride, strength is found inside. Together side by side, we conquer every tide. Helping hands for cruising, every heart is choosing. Life's a sea we're losing, nothing, just keep moving. Smiles light up the night, under stars so bright. Turning wrongs to right, holding on so tight. Sail with me, we'll find joy in every kind. Leave the past behind, in each wave unwind. Moments we will share, love is in the air. With compassion's care, hand in hand we dare.
G'day folks, welcome aboard, nice to have you here. We're doing a Chatting with Shaun session tonight, talking about all things helping hands for cruising. First things first, let me go in the chat. Down Under Cruisers, welcome aboard folks, nice to have you here. Joe, welcome aboard buddy. I understand you're not going to be long, but hey mate, thank you for popping in. Really appreciate you coming in. Well folks, what you have seen earlier on was Gabby doing her, well, that was Gabby having her fun on the cruise. Bit of snippets here and there, and we'll be playing those from time to time, let you have a look-see. Gabby had an awesome time on the ABC's cruise. You can see she had an awesome time, and we're eternally grateful for her having that fun time on board the ship. Lots of enjoyment. All right, so for those who are not aware, on the weekend was the board meeting. Helping Hands for Cruising had their board meeting, and we had full attendance, which was awesome. At the board meeting, a number of things were discussed, and there will be some follow-up on the 16th of May. There is it's a Friday evening, 6 p.m. Eastern, for those across the pond. 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 8 a.m. on the 17th for us, Saturday. What we will be doing is, and I believe it's Mother's Day then, Mother's Day weekend or whatever, but what we will be doing is we'll be inviting in the advisory board to come in and partake in some of the information that we've got on hand, follow up on the board meeting, and we can then go ahead and grow from there. What we discussed in the board meeting was a number of things, a number of important things that came into play. So first things first, the board finally put to bed the rules and charter. You'll get to learn more about that at the advisory board meeting. So we finally put that to bed because there's been some updates over the last 12 months and so that was put to bed. As well as that, we discussed the new cruise coming up, the Heroes Cruise. And the committee for the Heroes Cruise has finally been formulated. So with that committee, we'll be having our first meeting coming up this weekend. And what we're looking to do right now is we are looking to get as much sponsorship as possible. So we're certainly, we still do not know which ship or the itinerary. However, we do know that it will be an NCL ship, and we do know that we are sailing out of Port Canaveral. Other than that, we have to wait until NCL releases their ships or their itineraries. With that in mind, folks, we are now putting together the wherewithal to be able to get that cruise happening. Our goal is, well, I'll put it out from the outset. We need to raise $50,000 to put 10 people on board a cruise ship. That's the goal. And so we're looking at a minimum sale of around 200 cabins. And if we can get more than that, we would be eternally grateful, because that means we can then set it up and put more recipients on board. The important thing about the Heroes Cruise is it's there to honour our veterans, our Gold Star families, our first responders, and basically anybody else who fits the Helping Hands for Cruising criteria. But our primary focus will be thanking those that have been providing service one way or another, whether it's a vet who fought in Vietnam or wherever, or a firefighter that was involved in putting out fires, some of them involved with 9/11, if that's the case, or those members of the population who have lost family members in these endeavours, like they were a vet and they died during the acts of service, so the family becomes a Gold Star family. We want to honour those families as well and give them the opportunity to have a break, a reprieve of their general daily life, and give them a break. So yeah, so we're looking for recipients, we're looking for dollars, sponsors, and we're looking for any which way we can do that in order to get that to happen. So if you go on to the Helping Hands for Cruising website, Helping Hands, the number 4, cruising.org website, and you have a look, you will see there is a section there that says recipients. And under recipients, you can then nominate a recipient. Now, important, a recipient cannot be a family member. A recipient can be a friend, but a recipient cannot be a family member. So therefore, if it is a member of your family, then what you need to do is go to A Mate, and say, hey, buddy, put forward a video to Helping Hands for Cruising. Let their board have a look at it, because what we want to do is put Fred, John, Mary, Lucy, Tom, Harry, Suzanne, whomever, we want to put them on a cruise. And then what'll happen is that video will be observed by the Helping Hands for Cruising group, the relevant committee that's involved with that. They will assess it, and then they will come back to the board and say, this is our recommendation. The board will approve it, and that person will be given free tickets to go on the cruise. So it'll be flights down, a hotel stay before, a cruise with $150 in onboard credit. That's aside from the package credit, and entry to whatever activities are on board, put on by the group and also by the cruise line. They get full access to those, and then a flight home. Now, if they're driving, well, obviously Helping Hands will cover the fuel costs, but at the end of the day, folks, we want as many people involved because we want to recognise at least 10. Now, having said that, I know that we have 2 recipients who've already been approved. So that means we need to get at least another 8. That does take dollars, right? Those recipients will come on board once all the funds are put in place, and we know which ship it is, and we know what the itinerary is. So 50 grand is what we need in the coffers right now. So we're looking forward to any assistance. So please go ahead, talk to your, if you're in the veterans organisations, talk to your veterans groups, talk to your workmates. By the way, if you are part of an organisation that through Benevity you make donations, they will equal those donations. Benevity is a good fund to go through, and so we appreciate whatever benefits we can get. All donations are greatly accepted. We do have a couple of people on board that currently do provide donations on a monthly basis through our through our Zephy account. Zephy is the U.S. side of things, and on the Australian side of things we have PayPal right now. G'day Lorraine, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Oh, Kenny's in the chat. Interesting. Like I say, we appreciate anybody's assistance, but yes, we definitely do need the dollars, because the sooner we get that happening, the sooner we can make sure that those cabins are set aside. And yes, we're looking to fill the ship. If we can help it, we want to fill the ship. Wouldn't it be nice if we could get, say, one of the people, say maybe Bruce or even Chris. I don't know, Chris. I don't think Chris can play the bugle, but Bruce to get up at 4:30 a.m. and play Revelry, so we can wake the entire ship up. And then we can throw Bruce over the board because everybody's killed him by then. No, we wouldn't do that. That's the joke. No, but we would like to create almost like a military not military so to say, but a first responders brotherhood and I'm using the word brotherhood, I'm including the females as well, but a brotherhood or sisterhood on board ship. So what we're looking at doing is, with sufficient people, we should be able to have a room dedicated to the vets and first responders. This is where we would have different activities going on, but most importantly, it's respite place. So anybody who's coming in on board, whether they are the recipient or they are another vet or another firefighter or another cop, and they need a bit of quiet time or they need someone to have a chat with, we'll make sure that there's space that this can happen. It's time alone, time for them to heal. So we're utilising that cruise as partial, as a partial opportunity for people to heal themselves. It's going to be amazing. We're so looking forward to it. We're already starting to look at the activities. So those members of the committee currently are the ones that are the organisers on board right now. Those members are currently getting themselves all set up so that we can start to plan everything in place. We are asking people to get involved right now with their nominations for that cruise, because I know that if we come into the last month and Michael Ann is swamped under with all the recipients, hey, I know she's not going to be a happy chappy. So really what we want is we want to get everything in place, get them all working. Look, let me just put this forward, because this is basically what we're trying to achieve for that cruise. Have a look-see, and this is roughly the time frame that we're going to get it done.
Backpacked in the hallway, boots by the door for one stay home. The calendar's finally empty, phone on silent, radio on low. You've carried strangers' midnights, stayed till every siren faded out. Today you're bored in sunshine, leaving all that weight on the dock for now. Helping hands for cruising puts the heroes on the weight. First to run into the fire, now you're sailing toward a change. From the station, from the front line, to an ocean-colored view. Helping hands for cruising helps the world say thank you to you. Salt air on your shoulders, coffee and a sunrise split the sky. The laugh line's getting deeper, talking like you finally got the time. Old scars, quiet stories start to loosen up around the rail. You remember how to breathe again with every gentle roll of the tailwind trail. Helping hands for cruising puts the heroes on the waves. First to run into the fire, now you're sailing toward a change. From the station, from the front line, to an ocean-colored view. Helping hands for cruising helps the world say thank you to you. For every night you never slept, every vow you always kept. This is more than just a trip, it's a little grace, a lifted grip. See the water, feel it prove, even heavy hearts can move. Oh, yeah. Helping hands for cruising puts hands for cruising helps the world say thank you to you. Yeah, helping hands for cruising. This time the healing comes to you.
Yeah, guys, what a fantastic cruise that we're going to have. As you can see in that video, and I want to thank Michael Ann for that video. She put that together. That video kind of shows who we want on board the cruise, and it will be an amazing cruise. Whoop whoop, Mr. Scotty J, welcome aboard, buddy. Nice to have you here. I was about to send you a message, but this finished. So I'm going to send you a message shortly anyway, and have a chat with you. Yes, so as I was saying, we've got really some exciting activities that we're going to be looking on board. We are trying, and if we have the numbers, we know that all the cruise lines do a vet appreciation ceremony while on board the ship, but we actually want to make it one huge event. So can you imagine if we were to, and this was me talking with Chris earlier on about it, we were thinking, okay, let's go, worst case scenario, we sold 200 cabins on board the cruise. 200 cabins, that's 400 people. Can you imagine 400 people going into a veterans appreciation, a vets or a first responders appreciation event? Can you imagine? Plus whoever else is on board the ship. Okay, so I'm going to take a guess and say, let's say that 1,000 people presented, because not all the 1,000 people there are going to be part of the cruise. We'd like them to be, but they're certainly going to be running their own cruise. Can you imagine 1,000 people at a veterans appreciation event? What would that do? How much do you think those recipients would benefit from that event? Just that event alone. That just blows my mind, right? And can you imagine if, and I'm going to try and do this, but can you imagine if some of those vets that were coming along were Canadians or Australians or Brits all joining in? Now, obviously, they would not be getting, they would not be recipients because the cruise is geared to American recipients, and if they are Canadian, they're on the American side of the border, which is awesome. But they wouldn't be Australians or UK. Let me put it that way, because the cost for us to actually fly them across would be $50,000. Would not make it, right? For us to put 10 recipients on board, $50,000 would not make it. It would be closer to the $100,000 mark, which means that we would have to have a bucket load more sponsored. What we're interested in doing is getting those 10 people on board the cruise ship. So, not people, recipients. Those 10 recipients on board the cruise ship. So let's get that happening. And if we can get some sponsorship happening, woohoo! I mean, as Scotty J goes, whoop whoop. Can you imagine? Whoop whoop. How fantastic would that be? And as you saw in that video, we're hitting on a lot of different genres. So we're hitting on vets, we're hitting on Gold Star families, we're hitting on those that are injured. We're looking at cops and firefighters, paramedics. We're looking at those 6 categories to get people on board the cruise. Seriously, how big is that? How big of an event would that be? Absolutely huge. So we're definitely looking forward to it, and we're definitely looking forward to the camaraderie that we're going to be getting, the brotherhood, more to that. I'm sorry, girls. Please let me include you as brothers. Okay, so the brotherhood rather than me going brotherhood and sisterhood. And I'm not into this gender nonsense. At the end of the day, I'm into just everybody getting together and loving each other and getting on with it. So the goal for us right now is let's fill the ship. We want to get as many people interested as possible, because you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to do nothing more than go to Bruce and say, Bruce, we have listed right now 300 names. Can you imagine what he would do? 300 names, that's 300 cabins. Can you imagine what he would do? He would be beside himself. He would not know where to put himself. That would be absolutely incredible. So let's get on with it, folks. And if we do manage to get more than that, you know what? All it does is give us the opportunity to increase the number of recipients we can get on board. Having said that, we need to look at the next step. So there were a whole lot of other things that were discussed in the board meeting, but primarily we're looking at fundraising right now. So again, we're asking you, figure out a way that you can do some fundraising for HH4C. So for example, you might have a night out where, say for example, a group of you, or it's somebody's birthday, and you're going to take, you can say, I would like to take donations for our birthday. Don't give us a present, give us a cup of coffee or whatever it is in donation format. Collect some funds, and then you can forward that on to HH4C, and we'd be grateful for that. I am talking primarily here to the US, because in the US we are a 501c3. We're currently trying to get things organised down under. With the down under, we currently have things going through the solicitors, and so the next step is going through the ACNC. So the Australian Charities and Not-for-Profit Commission. So that needs to be, that's the body that governs all these all the charities. So once we get that sorted, PayPal will play its role, and we'll definitely be looking at doing something similar, like maybe monthly, or you can bequeath, or you can do whatever it is you want to do, but we want to get as much money going to HH4C as we possibly can. Just picture this. You nominate somebody, you change their life, you go on board that cruise with them. How much of their life are you going to change by being there, and how much will your life change by you seeing them go through the growth? I can tell you, I've been on 2 cruises. We've put 6 recipients on board cruise ships. Every time we've had a cruise, the people involved, whether they've hosted or they've been the recipient, all their lives have been changed. Michael-Anne has been on 3 cruises that I know of, and I can tell you, she's one different lady, etc. So we're definitely looking to get as much and as many people on board, hoping that we can get lots of response. We're also looking at, we don't care how we get sponsored, whether it's actually dollars, or whether if you're a hotelier, you own the hotel, you give us the opportunity to have a room for the recipients paid, right? Instead of the group paying for it, you donate the room. That might be a great opportunity. By the way, anybody across the pond in the US, you do make a donation, you do get a letter, the EIN number letter from us, which gives you the tax deduction. So when it comes to your tax time, you can deduct whatever donations you've made to us as part of your tax deductions. Hey, do that through you, do that through your company, along with companies like Benevity. We accept any dollars coming from anywhere, just not those that need to be dry cleaned. Laundered. So we want your money, but not your drug money. Okay. Yeah, we want your money. We want your money to put people on board. And if you talk to people like Kenny and you say to him, like Kenny, like Dan, like Roxy, like Scott and Amber, like James and Cindy Cachanese, you talk to these people and see how much this cruise has changed their life. Better still, more to the point, my son had his first cruise in November. He was on board the cruise with us. Don't worry, the group, his cabin was paid for by me. If you have a look and see his face at the end of the cruise, he absolutely loved it. There were other people involved, like people like Larry Giroux, Larry from Plum Travellers. Larry came on our inaugural cruise. It was his second cruise. His life was changed because of the interaction with Kenny, with the rest of the mob that were involved in that cruise. So everybody's life gets changed. We grow. We learn to deal with other people. We learn to be tolerant of each other. We learn to have a nice time and really enjoy each other's company. So here's what I'm saying to you folks. Get involved one way or another. Whether you become a volunteer and join us and help us out in getting people on board the cruise, whether you actually get involved in one of the committees, help us in one of those committees, or whether you actually just donate, or you put somebody up. Either way, folks, whichever way you do it, at least you're assisting the charity. Because I can tell you now, it's not just the board members who want to have the opportunity of getting on board the cruise ship. It's for us to get on board a U.S. cruise is a bucket load of money coming from Australia. And we do our donations, and we do our bits and pieces for the cause. For people in the US, it's not easy for you to take time out from work. So when we do have cruises that are hosted, sometimes it's hard for us to find board members that'll actually go on, as in the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise. With the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise, we had Denise. Denise is a advisory board member. We had Bruce, who is also an advisory board member, but Bruce was actually the host of the ABC's cruise. In the meantime, Gabby had an absolute blast. And this is the main thing. The more people we get involved, the more people who assist us with the activities, the more people who get involved in the committees, the better it is. The more we get happening, the more we get excitement going on. And the more we get excitement going on, the more we can have lots of people with lots of fun, lots of growth, and you never know. Maybe we end up in the news as Helping Hands for Cruising changed 10, 15, 20, 100 people's lives, all through giving them a cruise. Can you imagine? Well, I've set high goals. I've set 10,000 people worldwide. We want to change 10,000 people's lives. All we need to do now is get Australia up. Once Australia's up, we'll get Canada as an individual entity, and then the UK, and then we're going to start spreading around the world. Can you imagine just how much impact you can have in people's lives? So part of the slogans that we're looking at is, we do try and make dreams a reality. But one of the other slogans that we're looking at is a cruise changes a life. There are a whole host of other slogans out there that we will and can use. But at the end of the day, they all mean the same thing. We're changing lives one cruise at a time. And we want to keep on doing this. HH4C is an amazing charity. We appreciate all the help we get. And if you would have seen the last meetup where the entire board got together along with all the people going on the Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise, you would have seen that. We recognise the number of people for their donations. We recognise a couple of people for their hard work as well. And we absolutely appreciate everything that goes on. HH4C is amazing. I'm privileged to be a part of it. I'm privileged to see the likes of Kenny. Kenny would not be where he is today if it wasn't for the charity. I mean that honestly. Roxanne will tell you she wouldn't be where she is today if it wasn't for the charity. Dan would tell you he has not had the experiences if it wasn't for what we did. I know that Scott and Amber would not be where they are today if it wasn't for the things that we did. So at the end of the day, folks, we're looking for as many people to come and help. Yep, we'll give you a task. We've got a huge cruise coming up. Don't care which part of the world you're in, come and help and see what HH4C can do for you and what you can do for us. I can tell you I am a better person because of it. And because of the people I've seen come through the turnstiles, and everybody has had an impact. So let's get the Heroes Cruise up and running. Let's get the Heroes Cruise, because before we know it, 870 odd days will just go in a flash. 870. We're looking at 2 years away at least. Enough time for anybody to save up for it. And once that's achieved, we will then get you really excited. There's way more things going on. You just can't believe it. Other cruises going not only overseas but also down under. We've got some exciting stuff happening. The future is very bright. HH4C is here to stay. HH4C is growing. We want to put 10,000 people on board cruise ships. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens with a bucket load of help, and we appreciate all the help. Currently, the board is working really hard. Board want help, so come and help us. Get involved. We are looking down the track to creating a membership as well as a volunteer program. Huge difference. Membership will be paying a small fee. You'll be getting certain benefits, things like, I don't know, I'm going off the top of my head, a t-shirt recognizing you, access to having a chat with board members, so on and so forth. All these things are happening down the track, and we will be getting that happening within the next couple of months or so. But at the end of the day, the board are looking for as much help as we can get, and we will appreciate it. Some of the other things that we were looking at in the board meeting was primarily trying to get decent sponsorship. Don't care how we get that sponsorship. I mean, I mean that in a nice way. As in, it could be the mom and pop side that will go ahead and feed our recipients, or it might be the hotel that'll look after our recipients, or it might be the chain that flies our recipients. I don't know. Any which way we can get a bit of help, we would be grateful. So, if there are any questions out there, happy to answer them. Just put your question in the chat. If not, later on, and you're watching this after the event, go ahead, put in a comment or two in the comments line. Where all questions will be answered at whether it's here right now or later on. We'll be doing our segment on audience participation. So please, folks, participate. As I said before, the Heroes Cruise will be an NCL ship. We absolutely loved NCL for their help and assistance when we were on the Encore. So we'll look forward to seeing what's going to happen when we get to do our cruise, and it'll depend on which one of the great ships will be going on. So we'll see. As far as what's happening down under right now, as I said, the application is in the hands of the solicitors. We're trying to get ACNC approval, Australian Charities and Not-for-Profit Commission approval. Once we get that, we will then be adding the Down Under cruises groups that cruises that will be going on. So as a heads up, we do have a cruise at the end of the year where there will be a number of people coming on board. Now, if we do have ACNC approval, we will look at the possibility of putting somebody on board that cruise. It will be amazing. We're also looking for a cruise down under, being New Year's Eve in Sydney, and then once we've done New Year's Eve, the next day or two, on a cruise out of Sydney, headed to either the South Pacific or New Zealand. But we need to get itineraries and see which cruise is doing that, which cruise line. So once that happens, we'll certainly be looking forward to it. But we're getting interest, and currently it looks like we've got roughly about 8 cabins that, if that itinerary was available, would be sold right now for that. So we'd be looking at places like Fiji, Vanuatu, New Caledonia, and all the islands around there. So 12 days, I think. So that's kind of like where we're at in terms of the likes of the Down Under cruises, group cruises. We are looking forward to bringing on board a Australian board. So if there are any Australians in the chat, you are interested in being on the board of HH4C Australia, please let us know. We will then get all these put together, and then we can go from there. Right now we're at a growing committee meeting or committee stance, and so if we do have board members that are, or people down under who are willing to become board members, please jump on board with us, because then we can then utilize all our combined mental capacity and get this thing up and running with gusto, not just a little US thing. We want to be a big worldwide event. If we can make this like World Vision, well, not like, but as big as World Vision, we'd be happy. Because if we were that size, we'd be, can you think of the number of people? It wouldn't be 10,000 people. It would be 100,000 people on board cruise ships. Can you think of all the lives we'd change? Seriously, we could be running, I mean, if that went, we could be running a cruise a month. Oh my goodness me, look at that, I've just blown my brains. A cruise a month. Oh my goodness, serious? Whoa, that's huge. Anyway, like I say, at the end of the day, let's get things cooking. We definitely want to have your assistance one way or another, whether it's, as I said, whether it's as a host or you nominate a recipient or you are willing to volunteer to assist in whichever committee it is, we'd be grateful for your help. All right, I don't have much more to say, folks, other than look forward to catching up with you. I hope I answer all your questions. If you do have any, please, in the comments. We do read the comments. We do get to see them after the event, and we will make notes of all your questions so that we can answer them for you. Yes, check out the Helping Hands, the number 4 cruising.org, helpinghands4cruising.org website. That'll give you links to all the cruises that we've got coming up, as well as opportunities for us to communicate with you. So have a look, get your info, put your videos in, and then we can go from there. So with that in mind, folks, seeing as there's no questions, no other feedback, I am going to ask you again, put that feedback into the chat. I believe tomorrow I will be rocking along with Jimmy, so we'll be having a chat from the Astute Tourist with the Down Under Cruises on our regular Hump Day session, and then on Friday, you never know, we might have somebody else invited on for an interview. And this time, last time we did the interview with Matt, that will be put up onto the Helping Hands for Cruising YouTube channel. We were talking with Matt, who is Crystal's partner. Crystal was not allowed in the interview at all, but she did breach protocol occasionally. But we had discussion with Matt and found out from his point of view what benefit the cruise will actually have for him. He will be a first timer. No, he's not one of the recipients. I'm making that candidly clear to you. Matt is fully paid. Both him and Crystal are fully paid on this cruise by Crystal and Matt. They're paying for it themselves. So he's coming on board, and it will be his first experience on board a cruise. And because it's his first experience on the cruise, it'll also be his opportunity because it'll be a heroes cruise. And Matt is ex-military. So there are other interviews that will be happening, us interviewing a couple of people. And once we've done those interviews, you'll see just how much this heroes cruise will mean to them. All right, with that in mind, oh, hang on. Lorraine asked the question, how many donations did you get from the first quarter from companies? That is when they give donations. Lorraine, I'll be honest with you, I cannot tell you that answer right now. I will come back to you with that. In actual fact, if you can make it to the 16th, make it on the 16th to the advisory board, I'll definitely have an answer for you by then. But for next week, Tuesday, I will give you an answer to that question. The amount of donations we've actually received to date for this quarter, that would be an exciting answer. And actually, we're looking to receive a bucket load more. A bucket load more. With that in mind, folks, I'm going to wish you all a good evening. And for us, it's evening. A good day for you, for those that are starting out today. And we wish you only good things happening. We'll catch up with you next time. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.
Dreams set sail today, rising up no delay. Hands reach out, we say, join us, come what may. Waves of hope we ride, strength is found inside. Together side by side, we conquer every tide. Helping hands for cruising, every heart is choosing. Life's a sea we're losing, nothing just
This is for Fantastic Cruise Group, Carnival Pride. We had a blast, we enjoy ourselves.
Smiles light up the night, under stars so bright. Turning
I want to
roads to
thank him and Matt.
holding on so tight. Sail with me, we'll find
rest
joy
of the
in
group.
every kind.
That we all enjoyed ourselves together, and they are great friends of ours now.
Moments we will
We got two
share.
brothers,
Love is in the air.
and
Who are they?
With compassion's
Dewey
care.
and Captain
Hand in
Billy.
hand we dare.
So you guys just had your first cruise. How did you guys enjoy it? And what do you think was your favorite thing that you did?
Favorite thing that we did?
Helping hands for cruising, every heart is choosing. Life's a sea we're losing, nothing, just keep moving. Helping hands for cruising, every heart is choosing. Life's a sea we're losing, nothing, just keep moving.
And do you guys have any recommendations for first-time cruisers?
under stars so bright.
Believe everything you hear when they say you want to eat.
Definitely.
Food here.
Holding on so tight.
It's convenient, right at hand.
Sail with me, we'll find
The ice cream machine needs to
joy in every kind.
every time you walk through the door,
Leave
it's
the
right
past behind. In each
Great. Well,
way
thank you for
find
letting me
one.
interview you.